Because we have nobody watching the gate right now. So right now, we're just skating, we're fine. But what's going to happen, we're going to get hit again with a mega project and nothing we can do because of state law.
Do we know what the percentage is?
It's dropping rapidly. I mean, with Day Mill being completely built out, and actually another one that I was proposing at the time, which I since did away with because of the economy.
Day Mill is not
We
completely
were still
built
going to be
out.
hovering at, we were just barely keeping it off at like 10.5%, 11%, and that was 6 years ago. So we're really going to be right for a 300, 400 unit complex within the next 10 years, if the economy justifies it.
Right, but if we don't
I understand.
lift the 40B restriction on this property, then they can't sell their property.
Right, so
So,
fill a unit, you best
you know.
bring people in with tax dollars, yeah.
Those are your choices.
We can't say no to it because we can't hold up to our end of the bargain.
Right.
Has the town looked at a planned production program? No?
Nope.
Yeah, it's a way to stave off and get some control over.
Like Luann said, Sean Grimley, who was on several boards, and one of them was, he was a affordable housing coordinator. He was actually the town's liaison when it came to that in every shape and manner, but since he's not around, no one's filled his shoes. And so the answer to your question is, now, we were going that way, but like everything, it stopped.
It's something that will need to be looked into, but until we get some financial stability, I don't see that happening right away.
Yeah.
You know, we're just trying to provide basic services.
Oh, I know, but I'm just trying to state the facts out there, is that we're playing the, if we close our eyes, nobody can see us kind of routine. It's only going to last so long.
Do I have a motion regarding the removal of the 40B deed restriction for 11 Water Wheel Circle, Unit 17?
I will make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Not Julie?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. The next item is action on naming, dedicating the Templeton Center Playground.
Okay, that's me. Alan Mayo contacted me a few weeks ago about the build of the playground and just wanted to talk about the dedication and was asking me my opinion about whether or not we leave it at TC, or did I have any other thoughts, and I do. And I wrote them down, so I hope you don't mind if I read them, about naming it, and I thought that we should not leave it TC, and that we should name it. When I was a young girl, I remember thinking to myself how much I liked, respected, and admired this person for what she represented for our town, and that one day I wanted to be like her. Today, I respectfully ask this board if we would consider not leaving the name as TC, and instead name it after Gladys Salem. Gladys stood for education, the youth, and our community as a whole. She spent her entire teaching career, beginning in the mid-60s until she retired here in the Narragansett District. If you ask anyone that had her for a teacher, they loved her. She was the first woman select board member, being elected in 1977, and ran both in 75 and 76, thus breaking the glass ceiling for women as leaders in our community. She was a select woman for the first time in 77, and that ran till 83, and then served again from 89 to 2001 and 2002 to 2003. Gladys took over the craft fair from the First Church and ran with that for many years, and it has remained an amazing benefit to our students for scholarship. It teaches them about work and about being involved in their own community. Our town has also benefited from this event as it helps our local economy and our sense of togetherness, and people come from many different areas to buy and to participate. I believe her commitment to education, youth, and our community, it would be a great honor to name the playground after Gladys, and that would represent all she stood for in the town of Templeton.
Motion?
That's my motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? I know Alan, yes.
I can't think of a better choice. That's
Thank you.
great, thanks.
I know Alan's here, yes, Alan.
I believe it's a great choice. I had Gladys Salem in that Templeton Center School there back in my third grade, and she was just across the parking lot from where that playground is. I will also tell you that I have spoke with her husband, and he said it would be an honor if that happened. So the family would like that to happen as well.
Thank you, yes, sir.
Gladys was also on the police department, proximity to the police station was also.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything? If not, we have a first and a second. Julie?
Yes.
Doug? Yes. John?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
I will vote yes.
Thank you.
The next item that we have is to discuss the personnel policy.
Who's putting this on here? Holly. It's making me feel really bad about not getting to the whole thing. It actually is on my calendar to be done this week. I'm not kidding. It's like an appointment because real estate's been really busy for me, which is a great thing for the town, but it's just, it's been over the top. So I will get to that and send it out to all of you.
So next time, or should I skip a meeting?
Well, plus I'm doing the playground build, so, you know.
Right, well, do we want to have a separate meeting just to do personnel?
I thought, yeah, but I thought if I could at least get it into Word for all of you, and that's really, it's a learning curve for me, because I've never done that piece of it before. So, I mean, it's here with me, it's like all the notes, and I don't want to copy them. So, I think we probably should have a separate meeting just to really, I do have a lot of questions, which in turn, I'm sure, it's outdated, so, you know, but yeah, once I can finish that, then we can decide, like, you know, I wonder too about even discussing the budget, if that should be a separate meeting too, but, you know, because I think that will be much more entailed for us than it has in previous years. So, yeah. But thanks, Holly, for putting that on there for me.
So we will look at, do we want to look at dates for, I know that 2 weeks is our normally scheduled meeting.
I know, can you wait for me to send it out to
Yeah,
you
so
in
we'll wait.
Word? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's 2 weeks, is that
At
Columbus
this
Day?
point, no, we're out till,
14th.
like, yeah, the 14th or the 13th?
14th, Tuesday.
It's the 2nd and then the 4th in
So
October,
13
right?
and 27, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you, well, that would force me to finish it, if you do it in like, you know, maybe the week before our next meeting or something. I mean, that makes no difference to
Or what
me.
if we meet on the 20th? The off week?
Yep, so,
Oh, yeah, sure.
okay.
20th, so we would meet, when we would
So a
meet,
separate meeting for,
October 20th, which would still obviously be open to the public, but just then,
but our normal meeting would be the 13th and the 27th.
Seventh,
Our
right.
normal meeting, so we'd be meeting the 13th, the 20th, just for this, and then the 27th.
The 14th.
14th.
I mean,
It's
we'd
a
meet the
Tuesday.
14th?
Yeah.
Is the
Columbus
13th a
Day.
holiday? Oh, okay, I don't get holidays, so, okay,
okay, great.
thank you.
No. It's the second.
And the next item that we have, the final item in open session are appointments. Do you have the list, Holly? of
I
appoint-
don't
Nope.
actually have
Oh,
any. I
that-
should have taken that off of there.
That's a good way to end. So,
Next session.
the next item that we have on the agenda is to see if the board will go into its executive session and will announce whether to reconvene an open session after the conclusion of the executive session. Under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21-3, the Board of Selectmen may go into executive session when the chairman finds that it is necessary to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body. The chair so declares. I so declare. If there is a motion to go into executive session, and then also whether we'll be reconvening an open session to adjourn the meeting as a whole. Is there?
I would make a motion that we go into executive session, whether we need to come back, I don't know if we can, we'll just adjourn this meeting now and do executive session.
I guess the last thing is the selectmen's comments, and, I mean, to reopen just for that, or,
Right, plus they have to break down.
and then they have to break it, right? So I say that can we change the order?
Yeah,
we
we can
Can
do
we,
that.
and before, yeah, that would be
So we can
better.
convene now and go into executive session.
Okay,
Yeah.
yep. So I have first, do I have a second?
Yeah,
First and second?
second, sorry.
I have a question of where.
Yes.
I was gonna ask before, you said 252. I understand there's an outstanding bill on that. Who's gonna pay that bill? I
Outstanding
saw the
bill?
paper. Was there a bill that was submitted for doing some work for the grounds that hadn't been paid?
Not a clue.
He's probably talking about.
No, it was printed in-
Jerry wanted copies of something and we got.
Must be true then if it was.
I haven't seen it.
Huh?
I haven't seen it.
I think what he's talking
It was on
about
the
is
blog.
when Jerry called and got copies of something and they said us.
Yes, yes.
ECS, the environmental people.
Yes, that was initially submitted as a $50 bill to the town. We made it clear that the town did not place that order and that that was not an appropriate bill for the town,
Thank you.
and it was taken care of separately and privately.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion?
Can we do selectmen
Yep,
comments?
yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to update the board that I attended the Historic Commission meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what day it was. And I asked for Templeton Center to be designated as culturally significant, so we could try to apply for CPC money in the spring for a roof.
Mhm.
So then they agreed to do that. So
Oh,
they
great.
should be sending us a letter saying that Templeton Center is culturally significant. So then the next step would be to get estimates for the roof and then approach CPC to see if they would agree to put this on as a warrant article for the spring.
Oh, great.
And there's a car show on Saturday. The Historic Society is putting it on, along with the playground build. I think they're cooking, so if you help at the playground, you can go eat over there. And also on Sunday, that's when the ceremony will be for the Purple Heart community designation, and I think that's at
1
1
p.m.,
o'clock.
yep.
Yeah.
1 PM on Sunday?
Yes.
Right in front of the Historic Society where that flagpole is. You know where the tree lighting is?
Yeah, yep. Okay.
Thank you.
Do you, I'm sorry, can I just
Yeah, sure.
please ask Julie, is there like some kind of flyer that, I guess I haven't seen anything I can
It was
post?
like a large postcard.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
sorry,
on the public, yeah.
completely must have missed that. Okay, thank you.
Doug, do you have anything?
I don't have anything.
John?
A couple of things. Last week I attended a meeting of the Massachusetts Selectmen Association in Boston. Speakers were John Robinson, who was the legislative director for MMA, and Mike Widmer from the Mass Taxpayers Foundation. And they talked about pending legislation. Mike Widmer said that his feeling is that we might get a 3% raise in our municipal rate this year. But it certainly wouldn't be any more than that, and it certainly could be less, but
Yeah.
that's what he's predicting it at right now.
Unless you're Templeton.
Right.
A decrease.
I attended a function over in Orange a week or two ago at Riverfront Park. And if you haven't been to Orange, go over there and take a look at it, and just think how it would look in Baldwinville if we were to take 4 Elm Street down.
No, I don't,
Yeah, I think-
I don't,
No, and mine were already touched upon. Again, just the playground build this weekend and the Purple Heart ceremony at 1, but, so if there's no other discussion then, we'll take the vote on going, oh, yes. We'll take the vote on going into executive session. Julie?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
And I vote yes. So thank you all for coming.